Hey guys, Cody with CJC Off-Road, and today I'm going to be installing the ultimate leveling kit on this brand new Platinum Ford F350. Now, the Carli kit really is the ultimate leveling kit. It's the best handling and the best riding leveling kit on the market. And today we're going to be showing you kind of why it's better and how it goes on the truck. We're going to be using 37-inch Toyo tires as well as 20-inch 1552 Turbo Mac HD wheels, which we're really excited about. Now, there's going to be a lot of differences we're going to explain in this setup, and we're going to kind of explain the parts as we're putting them on, so let's go ahead and get these stock parts ripped off. Alright, so now that we're getting some of these stock parts off, we're going to explain why this really is the ultimate leveling kit. Now, for instance, the track bar does geometry correction, as well as it has larger joints than basically every other track bar on the market, and definitely larger joints than most of the budget track bars on the market. You'll also see that a lot of track bars out there will say OEM style bushings. That's really not a good thing. Aren't we trying to upgrade the truck as we're putting new parts on? An OEM bushing is typically just like a melted in, pounded in Cleveite bushing, and those really don't last long. The Carli track bar uses Made in America FK rod ends as well as uniballs, and it also has a geometry correction built in, so as we lift the truck, the pivot point of the track bar shifts just slightly. Now, the coil springs, instead of using a spacer, we're using a custom tuned linear rate coil that is set up for soft ride as well as control, because a lot of times people want the absolute softest ride, but you don't want this truck riding like a boat. You still want to be able to handle on the freeway while you're towing, while your kid's in the car. You don't want the truck to dip while you're swerving or anything like that, and these coils really do that. They ride great in all situations, but they still maintain proper handling. Same with the shocks. The shocks have been custom tuned. Someone has taken this truck, they've gone home with it, they've gone to work, they've commuted, they've gone off-road, and they've really done everything they can to custom tune these shocks to ride well in all different situations. Now, we're also going to be doing a set of radius arms on this truck. Now, a lot of people ask, why would I buy the radius arms? Well, tire clearance is going to be a big sales pitch, as well as the joints in the arm. Now, if you look at the joints in the arm, instead of using like a melted-in Cleveite bushing that every time the suspension moves, that bushing essentially has to twist in itself, these arms use a Johnny joint in the back, which allows completely free movement. Again, they also have the tire clearance cut in, and they're also about 10-15 times stronger at least than the factory arms, because the factory arms are stamped steel construction. These are fully boxed and even X-braced 316 steel and fully welded all the way through. So they're going to be a lot stronger than stock, and they're going to move a lot more. Now, also in the rear, we have the Adapacks. A lot of guys ask, how do the Adapacks work, or how do they maintain towing capacity? Now, what they do is they maintain the stock F250 capacity, because you're getting rid of the thick overload leaf that's underneath, and you're combining it amongst a bunch of thinner leaves, and what that does is over dips, the springs are allowed to move more, but when weight is put on this spring, it still maintains the full capacity. In this instance, on this 350, we're getting rid of the upper overload that goes above, and that's just going to help ride quality, because again, when you go over a dip, those the overloads that engage on the frame, that's that harshness you're feeling that's causing the truck to almost feel like it's bucking in the rear. The rear is also going to get a set of custom tuned King 2.5s. And lastly, we're going to wrap up the front of this truck with both a Carli stainless stabilizer and also their differential guard. The stabilizer is going to help keep these Toyo 37s under control. It's going to help fight some of the radial pull as well. The differential guard is just cheap insurance, because the factory soda can thin diff cover that you have can't really survive much impact from rocks, etc. Versus the Carli diff guard is made out of 316 steel, fully welded, and you can pretty much hit that thing into anything and then not really worry about losing differential fluid. Now, this kit also comes with a handful of small components. You have replacement brake lines, bump drops, sway bar drops, and caster shims. Now, these pieces are all very important, and there's something that these budget leveling kits leave out that really should be included. The front brake lines are required because as we lift the truck and increase the front height and also increase the travel, the brake lines are just required so your factory brake lines aren't stretching. A lot of kits will give you like a relocation tab or just tell you to bend the brake lines, but again, on a truck this nice, why would you do that? Secondly, the caster shims. The caster shims are required for increasing the caster when we do lift this truck, and a lot of times these budget kits don't include caster shims, and that's where a lot of guys complain online of forums about weird steering wheel feedback or weird driving characteristics with the leveling kit, is they're missing those caster shims. Lastly, the bump stop drops and the sway bar drops are all required just to make the front end completely cycle up and completely cycle down with zero issues. Now, that's kind of why this kit will cost more than the budget kit, is frankly there's just more parts included that are required when leveling this truck. All right, so this truck is getting the 37 by 1250 Toyo MTs as well as the 1552 Turbo Mac wheels. Again, we typically run 37s on these trucks because it just looks right. It really fills up these fender wells even with the leveling kit. Also, these 37 1250 20s maintain the E rating so you can tow perfectly fine. And the stabilizer also will keep these MTs under control and make for a great driving setup. All right, we just wrapped up the installation. I think it turned out great. Again, the 37-inch by 1250 Toyo MTs on the 20-inch Turbo Mac 1552 wheels look excellent. Again, as I explained earlier, the components in this kit, while definitely costly, as compared to a cheaper leveling kit, the actual parts that you get and just the sheer quantity of parts that you do get result in a better handling and a better riding characteristic as compared to one of those cheaper kits. So again, the custom tuned coil springs, the progressive Adapacks, paired with the custom tuned shocks, the ride is still soft over driveways, dips, or on the highway, but then if you ever need to swerve the truck, you're hauling a lot of weight, this truck still maintains a complete composure, resulting in just an overall improved feel of the truck. Again, you don't get the weird bounce, you're not using shock extenders and just trying to shoehorn your stock shock into a lifted application. So just in every way, shape, and form, this kit far exceeds the basic leveling kits you see on the market. And yeah, that's why we're calling this the ultimate leveling kit for the Super Duty trucks. If you have any questions, comments, please comment down below, give us a call, shoot us an email, we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos.